Welcome back to North Coast Garage, and on this episode we start some body work, or repair some body work that we had previously done because something happened, I don't know. Anyways, we're priming some stuff on the Trans Am. Let's just get into it. Alright guys, we're out here working on the Trans Am again, and when I shot this with high build primer, and it wrinkled on the spoiler and peeled. So I'm thinking that at one point someone had used like a lacquer spray can or something and it wasn't compatible, but I scuffed it all before I primed it. And as you can see, it's been painted before, and it wrinkled only in certain spots. So I think someone just touched it up with a spray can when the car used to be white. And right now I'm just sanding those spots down. I got one section already feathered out, so I just used some 220 grit, feathered everything out nicely. And then I got some epoxy primer, if I could find the can. Got some epoxy primer. This is actually a 2K primer. I have never used this stuff before, but it doesn't have the thing where you push on the bottom. So this is basically air activated 2K. With the hardener in it, but you can spray it and there's no time frame on how long. Like those cans that have the push button to break open the hardener inside, you have a certain amount of time until that can hardens. This stuff, you can spray it, put it back on the shelf, and then reuse it again, a week later. So I've never used it before. I'm going to see how it works. I'm just going to use that stuff to touch up areas where I've sanded through, like where I have to sand out these spots where the other primer peeled. And then I got some bare metal spots, and I'm just going to touch up with that stuff. And then probably go over top of this, I think this was Rust-Oleum 1K primer. And the 1K primer does not stand up to anything. Like I can use brake clean and wipe this, and it'll come right off. So I might scuff it up and then spray some epoxy. I got a bit of rust here where it burned through. The car is basically almost ready for paint. I got some more block sanding to do on the other side, on the door and the quarter panel. Trunk lid needs to be blocked. Spoiler, all the smallest parts is what takes a long time with this car. But the bumper is it's sanded down, but it's got to be sanded down a bit more. And then I'll probably spray it with the epoxy. The paint I'm using for this does not really care what is underneath of it. It's really heavy duty paint. It'll stick to pretty much anything. So yeah, we'll see how it goes here in a bit. Just gonna do some more sanding and maybe prime it later. Yeah, and if you don't have any dust masks, like I don't have any currently, I'll have to order some. But if you don't have any, just use a fan, blow the dust away from you as you're sanding, and make sure there's no cover on that fan. So if you touch it, you'll chop your finger off, because those are metal blades. I got the big spoiler center section done. It's all nice and feathered. And I don't know if it'll pick it up on the camera, but there's lines on the very top here. Nice and crisp, sharp line. So, just want to basically make it all one color before you paint it. Now, the other day when I got home, I had washed the car off with some Dawn dish soap, just because it's been sitting and it's been driven and stuff, so I wanted to make sure it's really clean, try not to get all the grease off it I can before I start to do any body work. I've never used this product before, so we'll see how it goes. Just putting on a light coat first. It seems to be coming very well. Not that nice. You can tell it's falling out safer, right? Yep. Well, try to get the edges really good so you don't burn through. Could have sprayed a little bit better, but it looks like it's not bubbling up like the other primer did. So I think I got rid of all that, whatever was on it before, by sanding it down. So the most important thing is that it's all one color now, so when you go to paint it, it's more uniform. I'll probably put one more coat on, let this flash off a little bit. That's one thing, I'm not a painter. I was more of a body guy, Bondo slinger. Gotta have a lot of patience when you're doing this, because if you put it on too soon or you put coats on too heavy, that's how you screw things up. So, anywho, we'll get back to it later. All right. I put the last coat on. I think that's gonna be good. Everything seems smooth, uniform color, one color. Everything's smooth. Probably give it a slight scuff before I paint it, but Yeah, everything, it looks really good. That stuff is, you know, this stuff is actually good stuff because of the way that it smells. Like, it doesn't smell like, this stuff here is shit. You know, you can tell this stuff is actually like professional body stuff. I mean, for a spray can anyway. And I did degrease it with this one. So this is anti-static as well. Because this is this is all fiberglass. These spoilers, so yeah, that'll be it for this one. Just a quick little episode here. Like I said, I'm gonna probably just cover up this shit primer with the good epoxy stuff. You know, just scuff it down again really quick. I got some. This is all sanded nice up here. This quarter panel's all sanded nice. I gotta sand the trunk lid down. Do a bit more blocking on there, on this quarter. That door needs to be block sanded. Then I got all the molding for the spoilers that go in front of the tires, front and back. That's all in the trunk. That all has to be stripped down and sanded because that stuff's in really bad shape. But yeah, it's coming along. I'm hoping to have it painted this summer by the beginning of September, because there's like almost like a Canadian, not like a hot rod power tour almost, but it's like just a cruise, like a giant cruise along Highway 3 in Southern Ontario. It's called Dream Drive, I think. So, where they cruise on Highway 3 in Ontario from Fort Erie to St. Thomas. And I'm planning on taking this. So hopefully it can be painted by then. So I got about, what, six or 7 weeks to get it painted. So we're going to continue doing some body work on the Trans Am in this one. I'm going to start some block sanding on this quarter panel. You can see where I've kind of already done it. I don't know if it's show up on camera, but it's nice and smooth. And you can kind of see the texture change. So I've blocked over here already. I just got to finish doing it up. Got some 400 on my big sanding block. Now, some people use guide coat, but I'm just going to be doing it. So you can kind of see the texture of the primer. That's kind of like a guide coat in itself. So. And be very careful around your body lines. And you want to sand in a cross pattern. Like that. And an X. Now I'm being lazy and just sitting on a chair. Be careful of this wheel arch. Try not to dig the edge of the paper into it. This sandpaper is just some cheap stuff I got on Amazon. Should probably almost be wet sanding this. Got some water. I'm going to try doing it with wet sand. It seems to be gumming up the paper a lot more with dry. A little bit of Dawn dish soap still in this bucket. Let's get a little bit of extra lube. Sanding a lot easier. takes me back. I haven't done a lot of body work since I got out of the trade, and that's going on 10 years ago now. Up here next to the trunk lid, and then below the body line. So, I remember what it looked like before. That textured look to it. It is all been blocked out. A couple little spots where I burned through to the... I think I got to do a little bit more up here near the body where the gap is. A little bit of roughness in the primer still, right along the edge. I'm not too worried about down here because the spoiler is going to cover that. So this quarter is coming along pretty good. You can see the orange. When I blocked it out, you could see the texture part, where the low spots were in the texture part. The orange paint is still in there. But when you feel it, it's blocked fairly smooth there. I'm not making a show car. This is not going to be, this is some idiot doing a restoration in his driveway. Not a car for SEMA. So while I contemplate doing the bottom half, I'll show you guys the hood where that shitty primer was. Look at, I sprayed that good primer on it now. It was already sanded, but it almost blends in perfectly to the other color. So now that shit primer is sealed away, it's not going to be an issue. So I'm just going to lightly scuff that area when I'm ready. And then I'll have to do the same thing with the fender. The reason why there's a bit of primer there, this other colored primer, is I was pulling it into the garage one day, and the edge of the toolbox scraped along the side here. You can almost see it. Hopefully that'll sand out. I haven't sanded this one yet. But there was had to put a tiny skim coat of filler, and I just wanted to cover up the filler. So anyway, this side's getting there. I'll probably scuff it up a little bit more right before I go to shoot it. So and if I haven't showed you already, I think that door's locked. Oh, I got it. This is a brand new E-coated piece, so I gotta scuff that and shoot it with some primer. The door jambs have already been painted, so this is what am I going here? Hugger orange, carousel red. Pontiac called it carousel red. So that's single stage urethane, and I have a quart. A quart of that was $90 Canadian for a quart. So I'm not going to be going with automotive paint this time. I'm going to go cheapo and use tractor paint. Kubota orange is almost the exact match for Chevy Hugger orange. So I'm going to get a gallon of that from the States because they don't sell it in Canada. And this is my quart can. So there's a little bit left in there. But yeah, so it's going to be getting the Rust-Oleum Farm and Implement tractor paint. Kubota orange is almost the exact same color. I've seen other guys on YouTube paint their cars with tractor paint, and it actually turns out really well. The trick is adding a hardener to it, so that gives it extra UV protection. So anyways, till the next one, guys, I'll talk to you later. Alright, out here working on the Trans Am again. Sanding some primer. A taillight bezels, marker light bezels, one of the spoiler pieces. It's a lot of work because this car has so many small little parts on it. But yeah, it's coming along. Hopefully we're going to be painting it fairly soon. I want to try and do all these little small pieces together. The paint we're going to use has changed because you can't get the Rust-Oleum Farm and Implement paint in Canada in a gallon can, and the local Home Hardware actually had a really good sale on their paint, and we'll get to that later, but I think it's going to be pretty good. But I'll show you guys when I'm ready to paint it. Just trying to clean the garage up a little bit. I want to try and paint these small pieces today. It is ridiculously humid out. Look at all the crap that I have in this garage. It's like you never know what you're going to find. Unbelievable. Well, something happened. I think the can of the paint for the G8 was not closed properly. There's that single stage paint for the G8 that I use for touch-ups and stuff. It wasn't closed properly, so that's not good. So I fixed the fan, so it's got the guard on it, so it's not a spinning blade of death anymore. I don't know if I'm going to be able to paint today. It is ridiculously humid out, and I don't know. It's so hot. I'll let you know if we paint today or not. I guess I'll record it. Well, I'll talk to you guys later. Welcome back to North Coast Garage. On this episode, we finished prepping up the small car parts, and then we get some color shot on them. These small parts here, there's so much curvature to them. You can't really use a DA or anything on them. You just got to do it by hand. Want to go nice and light. So I like to keep this body line nice and crisp on the top. Henry's out here helping me. Right, Henry?
Yeah. Help will do this.
Just go nice and gently. Nice and gently. Alright?
The Trans Am's on now?
I think we're good on this side. I think we need to flip it around and do the other side. This is not blocking, it's just this is just scuffing it up. If you remember, I sprayed the epoxy on this last week, I think it was. And I just need to scuff it up in order to shoot paint on it. Okay, gotta flip it over now. Hold that. Where's mine? This mine?
Yep.
Here, do you want me to get you a new piece? Get a new piece and I'll fold it for you. Let's see the roll. Let's see. Get that back.
Thank you.
Gently. Gently. Nice and slow. And you keep all your fingers together like this. You don't push with your fingers, you go flat. Alright? See how Daddy does it? Yeah, just like that.
That's super Trans Am.
Hmm?
That's super Trans Am.
What's wrong with the Trans Am?
What made that car? What made it?
Who made it?
Who made it?
What do you mean?
What happened to this car? What happened to this car for it?
Are you saying who made it?
Who made it?
General Motors made it.
Oh, you built to that? You built?
Oh, I didn't build it, no. That car is older than me.
What car was it?
The Trans Am is 14 years older than Daddy.
Oh. That's 6 now. That's
Yeah.
6. That's 6.
The Trans Am is 48 years old.
Oh. That's 6 then.
Yeah.
That's 6. That's 6 and older.
fingers together. Just gently, gently. You don't have to sand it hard.
I think we're gonna go for a walk.
I was waiting for you.
I'm ready.
Okay, well then let's go for a walk. We're pretty much done here anyway.
We're almost done. Dad! Dad, you done yet?
I am almost done.
I'm almost done, Mom. Dad, I'm almost done. Riley, don't.
I figured I'd get these done now so I don't have to do them tomorrow. If I want to paint tomorrow, then they're pretty much done. I can get them painted before it rains tomorrow morning.
I ate the boat.
This table's going to be come in handy.
You should have moved Henry's car seat so it doesn't get all dirty.
Okay, so these pieces, let me flip the camera around here. These pieces are pretty much done. They just needed, I just scuffed them up with some 400. This piece I'm not too worried about. It goes underneath the car, you're never going to see it. And then these pieces here, I'll scuff them up with some 400 tomorrow. Or later tonight, I haven't decided. And pretty much almost ready to shoot color. I'm going to take the hood scoop off. That needs to be a couple little things fixed on that. And then I'm going to paint the mirrors as well. Just do all these little small parts and then get it out of the way. Alright, so this is the paint we're going to end up using here. From Home Hardware. This was on sale for $70 for a gallon. So, it's tractor paint basically. Alkalite is oil paint, but it's got it's like a hybrid. It's got urethane fortified. It's a rust paint, so I mean this should hold up pretty well. I'll show you the colors here. I got hardener and everything to add into this. Now this can here is actual automotive single stage. Hugger orange. As you can tell, I don't know, it's almost an exact match. Kubota orange is practically almost the same color. You can't even really tell. So, $90. Well, this was $90 for a quart like 10 years ago. Who knows what the price is nowadays? Gallon for $71. Now I got all this universal hardener, flex additive, and this will actually help adhesion, UV protection, and it'll be more flexible on bumpers and less prone to chipping. Chip resistance, I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Helps with UV protection. So, it's for urethane, and this is urethane. This is urethane, a hybrid urethane. So, And this also works for urethane. Helps with high gloss. So I also have this for plastic parts and fiberglass parts, and I have some actual automotive grade reducer. So I mean, all the additives we're adding are professional auto body stuff, so you know, we're working with what we got here. Alright guys, well we're almost ready to mix some paint. I just sprayed the adhesion promoter on. We have to wait about 15 to 20 minutes for that to flash off. Then I can mix some paint. I got the hardener, reducer, and flex additive. Hopefully this all goes good, because you're not really technically supposed to mix this different brands and whatnot, but and it's not even automotive paint, it's tractor paint, so who knows, we'll see what happens. I guess the mix ratio is going to depend on how thick this stuff is. I know using the Rust-Oleum, people use 4-to-1 or 3-to-1. Now I gotta try and pour it without making a frickin' mess here. It's thick. And I made a mess. We'll go 3-to-1. It's really thick. Okay, so I believe, can't really tell, but we're at that first 2 line there. We'll go to the next 2, reducer. Ugh. Hardener, that reducer, let me shake this. Hasn't been opened in 10 years, better shake it. Hardener. And I'm just going to add a little bit of this flex additive. We'll just go a cap full. Let's get the consistency we like. I know you're supposed to use metal sticks, but I did not have one. Perfect. That looks like 3-to-1 and cap full of flex additive is perfect consistency here. Let's try this. I'm supposed to have a filter to screen this, but Again, I don't have one right now. Alright, let's give it a shot. First coat, just a tack coat. Just very lightly. Yeah, should have mask on. Probably should have put a mask on. Whew. There we go. Just a very light coat as your first coat. Doesn't look half-assed too bad. Eventually we're going to have to wet sand and polish. Maybe not these small pieces, but spoiler maybe. I'm going to get a mask on. This stuff is actually probably not good to breathe in. And there's your coat. It doesn't even look that orange peely. Like, that's not bad for, spraying in a garage. If you can hear me, that's not bad for spraying in a garage with very little and wrong prep work. Plus, I'm not a painter. But that's not bad at all. I'm going to do a little bit more on this end here. I have a tiny bit left in the gun. I don't have enough to do a full coat on everything. Gotta hit the top edge of this one right here a little bit more. I don't even know if I can see that on the camera. Luckily it's raining out, so none of the overspray should stick to the neighbors' cars. If it does, I'll polish it for them. when I go to paint the actual car, it's going to be enclosed in a tent with a proper, you know, box fan and furnace filters and proper stuff like that. This is just doing small little parts here. Alright guys, well, I'll shut this off and put the final coat on, and we'll come back a couple hours later and see what it looks like. Alright guys, it's been an hour, maybe a little bit more than an hour since I finished spraying the last coat. And like if you touch the paper, it's a little bit sticky. Nothing on my finger though. So, you know, tractor paint does dry quick. Some people say it doesn't, but if you add the right, you know, hardener and reducer and stuff, it look at that shine. This came out so good for being a garage job. Like, there's not even really any orange peel to this. There's a couple little spots like where you can see some dirt. I mean, but this looks really, really good. For being done in the garage, you know, that I didn't even really clean. I didn't even wet the floor down. This came out really well. Leaves a fingerprint in the paint, so nothing on my finger, but yeah, I'll let this sit overnight before I even try to touch it, just to be 100% sure. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Yeah, I didn't do the mirrors or the hood scoop, but I'll have to do that another day. It's like pouring rain outside, so anyway, I'll talk to you later. Welcome back to North Coast Garage. On this episode, we get more parts ready for paint, and we build this monstrosity of tarps. Yeah, let's just get into it. So we're going to take the header panel off. We're going to try and paint the hood and the front bumper cover here and the header panel all in one today. And the next day maybe we can do the fenders, doors. I'm trying to do it in stages because it's just, this tent is not really big enough to paint the car. So we'll see what happens here. So these header panel bolts are half inch. There's 2 on each fender. And then there's some up here too. 2 here on the brackets. There we go. I'm gonna have to get a magnet and pick up all the bolts that I dropped on the ground. I don't even know where that one went. Oh. Look at what we have here. A flathead screwdriver. I have been looking for this screwdriver 5 years. I did not know it was still around. That seems to be what it's... Ah, okay. That's what it was caught on. There we go. I think I'll paint the bumper and the hood on the car. The hood is a pain in the ass to get it lined back up, so yeah, I can probably have to I'll probably take the fenders off the car to paint it as well, to paint them. I can get the hood, the fenders, and the front bumper and header panel painted, then it's just the trunk lid, the doors, the roof, and the quarter panels, and then the fender flares. But if I can get the hood painted, the bird can go on it. The sooner I get it painted, the sooner I can, wet sand and polish it, and then put the decal on the hood. So, okay, I gotta think about it. What next step is here? Hold on. Gotta find all the bolts I dropped. Okay, so 6 of these, 2 on each side with the fender, 2 in the center bracket for the rad support, 2 on the other fender, and then there's 1 here and 1 here on the upper rad support. So I guess that's 8. I was going to take them out of here, but this hole, I'm worried that's rusted in there. It's going to break, so I'm just going to leave those in. Oh, that's not going to fit. I have to use an actual screwdriver. I can't use the power one. Should be 3 Phillips head screws that hold this stainless steel ring in place. That's what holds the headlight in. Of course, my finger's too fat to fit in there. Is this magnetic? Ah, it is magnetic. Oh yeah, so much work to do, not enough time in the day. I don't even know if I'm going to spray color on this today. I got a lot of work to get done before I'm even ready. Including setting up the tarps on the tent to make my own makeshift paint booth. Alright. I think I might put these in the car just to keep them safe. Okay, alright. Oh, okay. So I was thinking I was thinking to paint the fenders on the car, but I gotta take the fenders off anyway to put these on, because I don't really feel like taking out the inner fender. And the driver's side one I can't take out because of my custom battery tray is welded to it. So I'm just thinking about what I'm gonna do next here.
The pot for candy? Where'd it go?
Hmm?
The pot down.
It's right here.
This way.
I took it off so it can be painted.
This is being painted.
Yeah.
Take it off the candy.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing. Haven't had enough coffee. My brain is just scattered right now. Alright, so I'm gonna have to take off the fog or the turn signal lenses in the bumper. I wonder if I should just take this bumper off because it's only held on with 8 bolts. I might just take the bumper off. It's 8 bolts. I mean, I'm trying to, cutting corners and being lazy. Yes, that's what I do best. But I think for this, I might actually do it wrong. Right but wrong. Wrong but right. I don't know. What size are these? These are big. I don't know my fractions. Everything has to be imperial, not metric on these old cars, so 11/16. See if this thing works. Yeah, this is just a bit driver. It's not an actual 3/8 drive. But this is what I've used for years and it's still pretty good, so. I get the turn signal bulb out, just in case. There we go. Don't want this bumper to fall on the ground. Just in case, I'll put the I don't think it's going to go anywhere. These things are so freaking heavy. It's so heavy. Oh my god. It's got to be like almost 100 pounds. There's no wonder these freaking cars weigh 4,000 pounds. Damn, that's heavy. You don't realize it. These bumpers are heavy as hell. 8 bolts, 4 on each side. Damn, that's heavy. I think eventually one day in the future, I might decide to swap the 73 nose on this car. I just like the look of the 73 front end. And because mine's a 76 and it's got the round headlights, 73 also has the round headlights and they're also the same hood. So just putting the bolts back on where I won't lose them. Oh, I'm also trying out a microphone today, so let me know if the audio is better or worse, whatever. I guess I'll know before you guys, so I'll listen back to it, but hopefully it's better. Just the cheapest microphone I can find on Amazon, as usual. Move that. I gotta get my workout in, I guess. As you can tell, my muscle mass, I don't work out at all. Because I'm fat and lazy. Oh man, that's freaking heavy. Oh, okay. I don't know. At least I know how to get the license plate bolts out now. Just a simple unbolt. So, must be missing 2 of these nuts that hold these on, because there's only 2 of them, but there's one on top, one on the bottom, but I only have the 1 nut holding them on, so. I think when I had this apart last, it's been many, many years since I've had this apart. But I think what I did was, I think I put it like half-assed back together because I knew I was going to take it all back apart again when I paint it. So there could be stuff that's like not fully like that, where there was 2 bolts missing, 2 nuts missing, I should say. Yeah, it's kind of scary because I've been driving it around for the last couple of years, but nothing's fallen off. So, but I think I just put it back together knowing I was going to retake it apart again in the future to paint it. So. Fenders I'll take off the car when I paint them. I think the doors, see, the doors are a pain in the ass to take off the car because they're like 200 pounds each. Yeah, I don't know. I might have to help. If I take the doors off, I need someone here to help me. You know. So. Okay, so this is heavy as hell. Dawn dish soap, some water, clean this up. If any grease got on it, rugs after driving it for a little bit. I do have proper wax and grease remover. I'm running low on it, so I'll have to get another one. This has all been wet sand. This is all sanded down, basically. That I've already done this. So this was the Evercoat high build polyester primer that I put on here, the whole car that I was blocking, to try and get it as flat as possible, because there are a couple little dings in the one fender. I might have to wet sand this a little bit more on certain spots, but like the bottom part of this bumper cover, this car's so low to the ground, you're never gonna see anything. You're also never gonna see anything behind the license plate bracket once I put that on. So it's like, do I even bother trying to make it perfect in spots you're not gonna see? So and I'm not making this thing perfect at all. So a garage paint job with tractor paint. I'm kind of limited on time. I want to get this thing done for the Dream Drive coming up in September 21st, I think it is. So, and it's, you know, gotta work on it when in between days when it's not 40 degrees with the humidity, because it's going to be just too damn hot to work on it outside. So be nice to have an air-conditioned shop one day. That'll never happen. Alright, so this is my idea here. I got these tarps up on the sides. It's a little too breezy today to paint, so I'll probably wait till tomorrow. But I got the hood masked, everything masked. I'm gonna hang a box fan with a furnace filter right in the center there to suck air out. Obviously I'm gonna put another tarp along the side here, and then I'll move all this stuff to the front as much as I can, wet the floor down, put the bumper and stuff right here, spray those, and then spray the hood. Well, that's my plan. I'm not really too worried. So yeah, it's really breezy right now. I can't really paint today. I just hope these tarps don't rip. Okay, so I got one wall here that's going to put up tomorrow. Like, this is some really awesome engineering. Homemade booth with the... Hopefully the wind dies down. But I'm going to kind of make a doorway here with this one, because I'm going to be painting in the garage and out here. So, but yeah, I've taped it all the way along. I'm going to put a box fan. I'm going to hang a box fan from the rafter with a furnace filter so it can suck the air out. And I taped it along there too. I have to tape the other side as well at the top. It's no, it's gonna be fairly decent, I think. But for now, I'm done for the day. It's getting a little late in the day and it's a bit breezy to paint. So we'll catch back up with you tomorrow. Alright guys, we're back at it this morning. Got more paint supplies, so I'm gonna spray today. I got the fan in there. It's I don't know, 80% sealed. So I guess let's just get to it, eh? Just cleaning, one last cleaning. Spray on and wipe off. I forgot what this stuff smells like. It smells like the old school permanent markers back in the 90s when you were in school. It smells great. Only thing I forgot to grab at the parts store is a tack rag. But, you know, because we're spraying in a professional paint booth, I'm not too worried about dust. Very important to keep switching out your rags after you spray on, wipe off, and then wipe off with the clean side of the rag. I did go over this yesterday with a multi-purpose cleaner and degreaser, so this is just an extra step. My pantsuit is already ripped. Thank you, Amazon. Gotta let that flash off, so I'll probably spray the hood first. Okay. So, I never got a frickin' spout for this can, but I'm gonna go ahead and make a mess here. We'll go 3 to 1. We'll mix up a full cup here, I guess. We'll go to the 4. Good enough. Reducer. Hardener. If it'll come off. That's right. You know what? I need to put a little bit more, just a splash more in. There we go. There we go. See, I almost, this is pretty much empty now, so luckily I grabbed another one. And we'll go with, I think we had 2 caps full last time, but we doubled the amount, so we're going to go. good enough. A little bit thick, but I think we're going to be okay. I'm going to put the lid back on there. I actually got the proper filter for these, so these cartridge filters, they continue to absorb stuff. So when you're not using them, you have to put them in a resealable bag so that they don't absorb stuff while they're just lying around, you know. I probably should have wet the floor down, but oh well. Now on this shitty primer stuff, I'm just going to put a very, very light dust in. I don't want it to lift. I'll have you know, I am not a painter. I've never painted anything like this big before, so. Let's try to get on my edges. Whew. All you painters out there are probably laughing at me right now. The reason you want it all one color before you paint is you can see areas where it doesn't fully cover. I screwed up and didn't do that. So, other than that though, it looks like it's not too bad. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I mean, we're doing it, you know, it's a professional paint booth here, so. And I made a paint. Wow. That was fast. All good? Let me wipe the lens off. This is overflow. Well, my ventilation worked out. You can see the orange in the filter there. And the car doesn't really have much overspray on it at all, so it worked. Alright guys, I'm done for the day. Hopefully you can see it. It looks really good. Not that much orange peel at all. Couple little spots that I had a run on this fender here. A little bit of a sag. And a little bit of a run down there. That one here, there's a Trans Am sticker that goes right over top of that, I think. So, and in the hood, I'm not too worried about a little bit of orange peel because most of the hood's covered by the big screaming chicken. So, there's the bumpers. Turned out pretty good. Everything is sticky and just covered in orange, including my face and the inside of my lungs. So, how do I do this? So, I'm going to go recover from isocyanate poisoning. And thanks for watching. When I unmask everything, I'll do a little short update video on it, okay? Talk to you later. Good morning. Welcome back to North Coast Garage. On this episode, we finished prepping the driver's door for paint, prepped the driver's quarter panel for paint, remove the rear bumper, and hopefully spray some color on that side of the car. Alright guys, we're back out here working on the Trans Am again. Just every video is going to be this car for until I get it done because we have the Dream Drive coming up in 2 weeks actually. I think less than 2 weeks now. And gotta try and get this door painted. I'm gonna use the DA sander on this door because it's nice and flat. I don't think there's anything really that needs to be blocked out. Other than that, had a great meeting the other day with Derek and Rich from Vice Grip Garage and Tabasco Garage in Dunnville, Ontario. And yeah, still got to wet sand and polish the door and the trunk lid. And then all that's left will be the rear bumper, quarter panels, and roof. So, oh, and if you're wondering, all those air bubbles, I got them all out. There was a big one on the ridge here, but I put the car in the sun, got a little pin, poked them, and got all that out now. So, yeah, it's coming along. I'm just going to try and get this door sanded today. I'll probably sand down the rear bumper a bit more. I'm going to try and remove the rear bumper. Last time I tried to, the bolts were so rusted it actually broke a ratchet. So I'm going to spray them, let them soak, and then tomorrow I'll try to remove the rear bumper because it'll be a lot easier to prime it and paint it off the car. As you can tell, it's the only thing white that's left on the car. So, okay, let's get into it, I guess. Finally used my DA paper on my DA. Just remember to keep it completely flat. Don't dig in like this. Keep it flat. You can see the texture This is like super high build primer. So you can see this texture here. Once that texture is gone, you know you're basically golden. So. Probably should be using like 320, but I only have 400 here, so it's going to take a little bit longer. As you can see, I don't know if you can see it on camera. Let me see, I can't really see it because of the glare from the sun, but right here, see how there's still a bit of that texture in the primer left? That means that's a little bit of a low spot. There's probably a bit of a ridge right above and below it. When it gets pushed in, the metal buckles, has to go somewhere, right? So there's a little bit of a high spot on each side. But, I mean, it's good enough. Like, I'm not too worried about this thing being perfect. Like, I'm trying to get it done. I could probably come back and with the block, I can probably block sand it out and get it better. Same thing here. There's a bit of a low spot right above this body line. So I don't know. This thing's not going to be a show car. I'm doing it under a tent. Okay, guys. So I could take the time to fully block it, put a little skim coat of, putty on there, but it is what it is. Like, I'm not gonna spend too much more time on this. I got to get it done. So it's not gonna be perfect, but it's gonna be good enough. Better than looking at primer. Trying to sharpen this body line up. You can see, I don't know if you can see it, but it's more sharp down here. There's a little bit, the line kind of goes up a little bit, so this needs to be just blocked a little bit more. I mean, try to do it a little bit decently. Like we got old body filler showing up through the old original paint, or not original paint, but from when I had it, from when I bought it anyway. But That feels actually really good. A tiny little bit here. I don't know if I'm ever going to get that body line back. It kind of disappears right there. I don't really want to sand it too much further. So, and up here, that spot earlier, it's almost completely gone. There's enough, I think there's enough primer on this door. I might get the block out and just try to get it a little bit better. But there is a dent right there. Like I said, this ain't gonna be perfect. If you're new to the channel, I'm trying to do this as cheap as possible. I'm actually laid off work right now. So I'm trying to save as much money on this as possible, but still be able to get it done. So, find when you add the wet sanding, this cheap Amazon sandpaper cuts a lot better than if you. Let's see if I can show you this. So you can see, I don't know if it's going to show up on camera. I can't see the camera screen because the sun is just behind me and it's glaring here. So, but you can see down here, like I said, when the dent's up here, the high spot's going to be on either side of it. So this is a little bit of a high spot. You can kind of see, I don't know if you can see the white showing through the paint up here, like that. So the high spot is a little. It's not like you can barely feel it. I mean, you can also do this trick where you get the panel wet. You can use water, or wax and grease remover works really well too. But when the water flattens out, if you look down the side of the car, sometimes you'll be able to see a dent, and you can really, it's like barely noticeable. So, I mean, it's good enough for me. I'm gonna block sand the top half of the car, go over where I went with the DA. Then I'll DA the bottom half of the door, block that, and then this door will be pretty much done. 400 grit and is good enough for painting single stage here. So normally this would be a lot easier if you took the door off the car, and I wouldn't have to put tape here and worry about scratching the freshly painted fender. But these doors are 100 pounds. And if you don't believe me, you can watch Kevin Tate's video where he's working on the red Camaro. And he took these doors off and weighed them. These are heavy. Everything on this car is just so heavy. You wonder why these things weigh 4,000 pounds. so nice. We're getting some nice cool weather. I mean, it's September, but it's actually nice. You can actually work outside and not just sweat through your clothes in 5 seconds. The weather here in southern Ontario, it gets really hot and humid in the summers. And as fat guys like me, we don't like the heat. I actually forgot that a long time ago, this is here is looks like fiberglass body filler. I think it's this door where I had to put a small patch. There's a rust hole here, so I made a small patch. It's either this door. It is either this door or the other door. I can't remember, but it looks like that looks like fiberglass body filler there, so it's probably this door. It's not 100%. It's got a little bit of a curve to it. It's not perfect, as usual. Yeah, so this body line is getting there. It's got to still have this texture to it. I'm working my way up and then working my way down. Try to sharpen this body line, but still got a bit of work over here. Luckily, this car is it sits so low to the ground, no one is going to be able to really see, you know, no one's going to get down on their hands and knees and critique the bodywork, you know, 3 inches off the ground. So as long as it looks good from about 10 to 20 feet away. I'm gonna just stop recording and just finish up this door, and then I'll show you guys when it's done. Alright guys, all done. As you can see, there's a lot of spots where I burned through. This door is not nowhere near as in good a shape as the passenger side was. But if you look down it when it's shiny with the water on it, you can't really see that much, too many dents. I did burn through to the metal here. There's some rust bubbling right here. Luckily that paint I got is a rust paint. Yeah, I mean, good enough, good enough. You know, with how cheaply I'm doing this, I could probably sand it all down 4 years from now or 5 years from now and do it again and still be in the positive if I had have done it, you know, with actual automotive paint and stuff. So yeah, just coming along. Hopefully I'm gonna plan on painting the door tomorrow. That's the plan. So I got to set up all the tarps and everything. Now I'm just going to move on to the rear bumper. I got to spray the bolt. I should have sprayed the bolts already, but I didn't. But anyways. See if you guys can get under here with me and show you the bolts that hold the bumper on. Actually, that one started to come off. It's probably when that bolt's half off, so that's probably when the ratchet broke and I just gave up on it. But so the car has a little bit of rust. I'm going to spray the bolts and let them sit overnight. This car was undercoated. You can see it here. I think that's what saved this car. So the bolts on this side. There's one, and There's some more on the inside of the trunk. But this is actually, I haven't been under here in a long time to look. I can't remember. We got the Hotchkiss, sport suspension. So that means we got the lowering leaf spring. We got leaf springs that lower the car. Came with those. Coil springs on the front that lower the car. Beefier sway bars front and rear that are greasable. Also have the Hotchkiss subframe connectors. As you can see, there's one there. There's one over here. I haven't been under this car in years, like since I bought it like 15 years ago, and we worked on it then. It's been many years. So looks like we got a bit of a, I don't know, axle. Is it leaking axle? Grease? Axle fluid? I don't know what's going on back here. It's leaking fluid here, looks like, eh? From where, I have no idea. If someone wants to tell me in the comments, I'm not really sure. Like, are there seals? Like, are these two pieces here? Like, I thought the seals were on the outside of the axle. But that looks like it's been leaking for a bit. But, yeah, the floors and everything. This car was undercoated. Everything's solid. The floors. When I bought the car, I had to put 2 little patch panels in the front. I think it was the driver's. I can't remember. In the front wheel wells there where your feet sit. Yeah. We got thrush mufflers on this. And the cheapest long tube headers that I could afford 15 years ago. That's the underside of this car anyway. It looks like we replaced the brake hoses when we did this car 15 years ago, back at the mechanic shop that I used to work at. So, at least that one anyway, the center part of it. The rest of it's hardline for the back. Usually these cars rot out really bad at the rear frame rails. This car seems like it's pretty good. It's a bit of rot in the trunk floor. I'll have to fix that eventually. It's not too bad. But yeah, that's the underside of the car, guys, if you were wondering. But this here doesn't seem to be leaking, the pinion seal. Is that supposed to do this, guys? It's in park, so I don't know. Is that acceptable? Alright, I'm gonna get out from under here. So I showed you underneath the back of the car. Let's see the underneath the front here. It's got a new radiator. After driving it for a year or so after we put the rebuilt motor back in it, I've noticed that the old radiator had a leak, so we had to put a new one in. That was 15 years, almost 15 years ago, I guess, 14, 13 years ago. Remember, this car sat dormant in the garage for almost 10 years. There's the mechanical fuel pump that I have to replace. It's just bypassed right now, so I got the electric pump sucking up fuel. I got a mini starter because the full-size starter right next to the headers immediately just melted the starter. So I had to order one of those when we first built the car. That's a heat shield wrapped around it. Looks like we're leaking a little bit of oil. Yeah, so that's also came in the Hotchkiss suspension package, these tie rod sleeves. It's got the cheapest long tube headers that I could afford back then. I think they're Flowtech headers. And there's a massive exhaust leak on the passenger side where I've attempted to just put some high heat RTV, you know, just to slow it down, make it a little bit quieter. But eventually we're going to have to replace the headers on this car, I think. But you can still see the block is nicely painted still. It looks like I never fixed the power steering leak 15 years ago, so that's been leaking for that many years. The steering in this thing is just so loose. It's like the one-handed power steering. Eventually I would like to change that. So yeah, look how beefy this front sway bar is from Hotchkiss. Like, that is pretty beefy. All these bushings are all greasable as well, which I should actually do. There's the lowering springs that came with the kit. They're gray. I think we put new front shocks on at the same time we did that. So we'll go around the side and show you the underneath. There's the subframe connector. Back here, bolts up at the front, and then it welds in at the back. Two 2.5-inch exhaust. I think this is the... I might be able to tie into the fuel line right here for the electric pump, but it's going to be right behind the tire. So I don't know. So yeah, these are all rock solid. I made sure I didn't buy this rot box. Believe it or not, 15 years ago, 2009, I bought this car, running and driving, for 3,000 Canadian dollars. So I don't know what they go for these days, running and driving. Looks like they got a pretty big leak over here. Is that a transmission fluid leak? I don't know. It's wet though. Looks wet. See, the leaks just give you more undercoating for free. So and the reverse, the lights for the reverse, when you put in reverse, that usually use this. It uses a big switch on the side of the transmission here, and it didn't fit with the headers, so I have no reverse lights. But it's leaking a little engine oil here, so I don't know. It's not too bad. There you can see my patch panel I was talking about. I just welded in a patch panel and just covered it in seam sealer. My phone battery's gonna die here, so I'll end this video for now. I got some brand new transmission mount bushing there. So it's a Turbo 350 tranny. It's got a shift kit. It's got a higher stall. I think it's like 2600 stall or 2200 stall. I don't know what it is, but it's got a small cam in it. So, guys, I got the back bumper off the car finally, and I attempted to do this years and years and years ago, but I gave up on it, and I think I know why now. Two, even after spraying the Go Loose juice on it, These two broke, and this one broke. And they are the bottom ones that sit outside. These, the ones on the top, actually you get access from inside the trunk. Yeah, whoever designed this car with those bolts there, it is ridiculously difficult to get at them. Not only, well, maybe because my exhaust is here, but I got the exhaust here, and right on the inside here is where the leaf spring bolts up. So you can barely get anything in there. There's barely any room. And it's just a pain in the ass. And you know, 3 of them broke. So, and I got a little bit of rust. I mean, this could be a lot worse for a Canadian car. I'm not even too worried about that. It's not going into the trunk. This is underneath. I'll probably just, you know, wire wheel that and spray it with some rust paint. But the other side's even a little bit better. But yeah, so finally I got the bumper off. That took a while. A lot of curse words with that one. Who knows when that bumper was off, if it was ever off. Yeah. They just snapped. But I don't know. I don't even know if I'm gonna. I could probably weld a nut or a bolt on the back side. Air chisel these out. Or just leave it. I'll probably end up just leaving it. 5 out of 8 is good enough. Good enough for me. Alright guys, it's the next day. I got the rear bumper off, prepped the driver's door. It's gonna sand. This quarter panel is basically ready. It just needs to be sanded down below the body line here and a little bit around the wheel well. And then we can set up our professional paint booth and start spraying, I guess. Oh, and I decided I'm going to try and paint the door and the quarter panel all in one go. I'll probably do like a blend line somewhere here. See, this tent is only 10 feet wide. So I can't really, it's not wide enough so that I could put the car in the center and spray on both sides at the same time. Otherwise I would do the roof and both quarters at the same time. But I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. I think if I just put a soft tape line here, I'll show you what that means in a bit. But if I put a soft tape line here and spray up to it, and then when I go to do the other side, I can do the same thing, and then I'll do the roof last. I think that'll be my easiest route. But yeah, it's hopefully by the end of the day today, it's going to be a lot more orange. Alright guys, things have escalated a little bit. I am getting ready. Cut this one up. The fan's up there. I gotta just tape it up a little bit more. I'm waiting for masking tape, so I gotta finish taping up this plastic so it doesn't keep blowing. And I got some more tarps to put up, and then hopefully we can shoot some color on. It's getting pretty late in the afternoon, so I might have to wait till tomorrow morning. I'm not sure yet. Almost ready to paint. Okay. Well, the first coat went on pretty good. Nice and smooth. I gotta hit those spots where the color's showing through more. A little bit of dirt back there. There's gonna be a bit of dirt. It's not a perfect paint booth here. It's hard to get a good setup with the camera because of how tight this is. Number 2's on. Probably put 2 more coats on. And for anyone wondering, I'm just using a cheap Princess Auto spray gun. Okay, and we go 3 to 1, 3 parts paint, 1 part reducer, 1 part hardener. So what I do is I fill it up to this 4, and then fill it up to this 4 with reducer, fill it up to the next 4 with hardener, and because I went to the 4, I then put 4 capfuls of this Universal Flex additive in the paint. Okay, so if you read it, it gives you UV protection and it increases the flexibility, so when you paint the bumpers and plastic parts, they don't crack as easily. So it gives us more UV protection on top of the hardener because we're literally using rust paint, Kubota orange, urethane, alkali urethane. So it's like a hybrid. So it's better than just a plain old oil-based rust paint. So it's almost like a single-stage urethane for automotive use. That's the third coat on. Got a bit of a run there. I'm putting it on pretty heavy because I know I'm going to be cutting and buffing it. Now if you look down the side, you can't really see that dent. If you look down the side of the car, you can't really see the dent. So, I mean, it's very, very subtle. I just try to hit my edges pretty good because I don't want to burn through when I wet sand and polish it. Alright guys, I'm going to put the final coat on, and then yeah, I'll unmask it later tonight, record that, and then upload it later. Alright guys, got it down on its wheels. Just going to unmask it, pull it out of here. This is what I mean by the soft line. It's not a hard edge, it's like a gradual. So I'm going to wet sand it basically, I don't know, basically down to here somewhere, and then blend it in, and then I'll have to wet sand and polish it. But let's get it unmasked. There we go. You can really see the orange peel a lot more once it's outside, but I'll wet sand and polish that out. So I'm just gonna do probably get this quarter panel done later this week. Then it'll be just the roof and the rear bumper. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. Hopefully get this thing done soon. Welcome back to North Coast Garage. On this episode, we get all the pieces that are left to paint. Flares, bumpers, and primer. We try to get them ready to paint and or painted today. These need a little bit more sanding before I get them in primer. And that's already primed because I primed it yesterday. So this can probably be sanded and painted today. I don't know if I can tell you the same thing about these yet, but let's just get started working on it. Hey guys, just a quick video on how to do, repair plastic parts. So as you can see, this one's cracked and it's been pretty rough shape. Okay, this one's broken in half, and this one has a crack here. So you take your a tool like this, okay, Dremel, whatever you got. You kind of make a valley, like V the crack out to make it into a V shape or a U shape. Okay, you do that on each side. This one I can use like a flat grinder disc instead of that because it's broken in half. But yeah, you V the crack out. Make sure the plastic's clean, and then you scuff up. Make sure it's scuffed up. I'm using 80 grit to get into all these crevices here where I V'd it out. And then this is plastic welder, plastic adhesive. It's also a filler and a sealer. Okay, JB Weld. That'll also work as a body filler too for when I'm gonna fill these cracks in, and then I'm gonna sand it smooth. Okay, guys. So you might ask, how am I gonna fix this? Because it's broken in half. Okay, so at first I cleaned it. Okay, just some multi-purpose cleaner, degreaser, whatever. Clean it up, scuff up the area with 80 grit, and I'm just gonna mix a little bit of this. And I also have some mesh that you would use in when you tape drywall, and that's gonna sit inside of this stuff. I'm gonna put that in when it's still wet and push it in really good, and that'll give it a little bit more strength. All right, guys. So there it is. The cracks are filled in. Okay. And this here, that extra mesh stuff, I can trim it once it's dry. Okay. And that's how you do a little plastic repair. If you don't have a plastic welding would have been better, but I don't have a plastic welder. So, yeah. Hopefully I can get these in primer tomorrow. And we'll get the bumper painted maybe tomorrow. Or maybe paint the bumper and these pieces all at once. I haven't decided yet, so. Alright guys, it's the next day. I let it dry overnight. So, oh no, it's stuck to the table. There we go. That, no, it dries rock hard. That's for sure. And this is a hard plastic, so. There's this one here. Just gotta sand it smooth. And this one here. Could probably pull off. I use some foil tape just to hold it together when I glue the other side. But it even came through into the middle of the crack there. So sand that smooth, and then I got a little bit of finishing putty to fill any little crack that's left. But that'll be strong enough. Like I'm holding it. So it's not moving. Hopefully I can get these in primer today. And then yeah, I got the bumper in primer, so hopefully we can get the car, the car should be fully painted and hopefully all assembled by the end of the week. There we go. Good enough. I'm just getting ready to sand down the pieces after the plastic stuff had dried. I'm gonna do it with 80 grit. I ended up using the whole tube. Alright. gonna use some 80 and knock this down. This one is the best one out of all of them. That's a rear, I think. I'm not sure. Got a little bit of putty. And I got some little pinholes. Some little pinholes and stuff. I'm gonna fill this in too. It's gonna scuff up in here. To give this stuff is still shiny, so just give the putty a little bit something to hold on to. So we're using our Canadian Tire brand lightweight body filler. Tiniest little, look at how small this can is. Mix it up. Oh, the smell brings me back. The smell of body filler brings me back. It's like in my early 20s when I was still working in the body shop. For anyone who doesn't know, I was a second-year apprentice collision repair tech. I left the trade because I got a job working on the assembly line, actually, building new cars instead of repairing ones that have been crashed. So it's probably way too much body filler for what we're doing, but always use your best screwdriver to do this. So we got our body filler. Always make sure you knead your hardener, because it can separate. Just put a little bit of hardener. See how it's separated there? Yeah. Just like I said, I shouldn't. Yeah, just whatever. A little bit of hardener. Mix her up. Make sure it's all one color. You want it all one color. Don't want any streaks. Make sure you mix it and get all the air bubbles into it that you can. trick to this stuff is just put it on as smooth as possible, so when you're sanding it comes off as fast as you can. No one really likes sanding this stuff. So the smoother you put it on, the faster and easier it comes off. Just make sure you put enough on that it's built up high enough that you're filling in all the low spots. This is a rigid plastic, otherwise you have to use a special body filler for flexible plastic. Okay. A little bit here. Just fill the crack in. It's not much of a low spot here at all, so. Okay. With the plastic spreader, you can just let it cure on there and break it off, but I like to wipe my board off with some paint thinner. Now you just let that cure. We'll knock it down with the 80, and then I'll hit it with I don't know. I think I have some 220 in the house, but it's not in DA paper, so I'll knock the high spots down with 80, and then hit it with 220, and then go over all of these with 400 grit, just to smooth out the plastic a little bit before I put primer on it. And then the bumper, I'm gonna hit with 400 on the DA, and then some maybe some 400 wet. I don't really want to burn through the edges, so I got to be really careful. So I do not have much primer left at all. I'm actually going to be using 2 different primers here because I don't have enough of one to paint to prime these and the bumper and everything. So I got this stuff here. There might be enough in here to paint to do these. And I also have epoxy that I had to use on the bumper because I didn't have enough. I don't think there's enough in that to do the bumper. So I'm just using this old stuff that I had lying around. So that stuff's got to be 10 years old at least, because I bought all that stuff when I started doing the body work on this. So yeah, we'll get some sanding done, get those in primer. This can be sanded now. Primer dries pretty fast. I had this sitting out in the sun yesterday, and pretty much dried in like 20 minutes. So, all right, I'll catch up with you later. Well, I'll get that body filler set up. Just gonna hit the bumper quick with some 400. Try not to burn through. I probably will. Notice I'm wearing a longer shirt today, so I don't have to edit out my ass crack. burnt through a little bit right here. A little bit on this edge. Not too bad. Bottom doesn't really matter. You're not going to see that. And a little bit right here. Just got to do a little bit more in here by hand. And then, yeah, tiny burn through on this edge right there. That's good enough. Alright, I wish I had like 120 for this, but I used all my 120 and I don't have any more, so 80 it is. Plastic parts always get adhesion promoter. I don't know if the camera's focusing on it. Just to spray a light coat of this on before you put anything on it. Alright, good enough. I'm just going to use the rest of my epoxy primer that I have. I'm going to mix the rest of it up. And the reason I'm doing that is I don't have any hardener for this right now. But I have hardener for the epoxy. So I don't have much epoxy left. So, and it's kind of getting old and separated. So whatever it is, it is. This is not going to be enough primer, but I'll put a little coat on it and then hit it with the other primer once I get more hardener. Notice I also... Hold on a second. This is a green gun. It's got a larger tip. Same cheap Princess Auto. I think I got these guns when they were on sale at Princess Auto like 10-15 years ago for like $20 or something like that. I put that on really heavy in some spots, but I'll sand it all off. That's what happens when you put it on really heavy. As it dries, it wrinkles a little bit. I'll sand that out with some 400 though. It's stuff's easily, as you saw with the bumper, this stuff sands really easily. So I needed to put it on really heavy there because I had some pinholes that I didn't get with the body filler. So the other ones are actually good. So they'll be good enough for this. Well, I almost painted this whole car with 1 gallon. I just had to run out and buy a quart. But yeah, there's probably not enough in there. So just to be safe. Almost did the whole car. Damn it. freaking... This is the last thing I'm painting. And of course, something f***ed up. And I got fish eyes or something's going on here. Unbelievable. I'll just have to bury it and hopefully it looks okay. I don't know what that is. Okay, I figured out what was wrong and why it was reacting. I forgot to empty the water separator, and there was a bit of water coming out of the line. So the second coat went on much better, and I think I'll be able to bury these. It wasn't really fish eyes, it was just sort of weird looking. But yeah, the second coat on went much better. Unfortunately, I got some runs on the bumper. Yeah. It is what it is. I forgot to empty out the water separator, but yeah, I'll bury that stuff and then have to wet sand some of the runs out. All right, guys. Yeah, with the exception of a couple runs, it came out pretty good for how it started. So that's the last one. Couple runs there. Oh well, but yeah, I'll next time you see the car, it should be fully reassembled and completely done. Besides, you know, cutting and buffing, I don't think I'm gonna have time to get that done because I'm trying to get this done in time for the weekend because we have the dream drive coming up. This weekend actually coming. So today's Tuesday. I got 3 days to put the car back together and everything, get it ready. And yeah, thanks for watching this one. Hopefully I get everything done in time for the weekend. See you later. Hey guys, remember last time on North Coast Garage I said next time you see this car it'll be fully complete? Well, I lied. Still got to do the trim around the windows. That's not getting done on this end, but it's done. Tomorrow's the dream drive. We got about a 50-mile trip there and a 50-mile trip back. Let's hope this thing can do it. Alright guys, we're just out here just doing final assembly on the Trans Am. And look what I found. A whole bunch of miscellaneous bolts and nuts and screws, and at least I labeled this one. This is for the wheel flare, which I was going to do right now. Now, here we have a little bit of rust that burned through. Now I grinded that down and you know, painted it with this. This is actually a rust paint. So now that's not seen at all because the cover, this covers, the flare covers it. But the inside, I'm gonna spray some fluid film in there, and that will hopefully stop it from getting any worse. You can see down in there. I'm just going to soak that whole area with fluid film. Oh, and I found some paperwork. All the receipts that I spent money on when I bought primer, paint. So all that stuff, I'll show you later. But I was off a little bit on the cost of the paint when I bought it, and it was 2014 when I bought everything basically. So I'm just gonna see if I can get a little bit of a light here. Spray the living shit out of everything. Again, this car is not that rusty considering it's a Canadian car. Get it all nice and coated in oil. You know, I'm just thinking, I really should have put that fender flare on first, because now when I reach my hand in there to do up the bolts, it's gonna get, my hand's gonna get covered. Oh shit. Oh well. Anyways, check this out. So, here's the paperwork. See what I bought here. Okay, this is for, this was, okay, that's the, I'll go from oldest to newest, okay? So, the last license plate sticker, last year this car was on the road, 2013, okay? And look at the date when I started buying all the bodywork stuff. April 12th, 2014. Okay? I spent $152 that day. So I got the high build feather fill G2 primer in a gallon. It was $66. That was 10 years ago. I think they're like $120 now or something like that. I bought some fiberglass, metal spreaders. That's not really mixing cup, yeah. Epoxy primer. That was just a quart. Okay. Now, fast forward a little bit. We go to September 27th, 2014. I bought a quart. Sorry, yeah. 946 milliliters urethane primer. The flex additive. So I bought that stuff when I sprayed the front bumper, as you saw me do the rear bumper. But I sprayed the front bumper with that urethane primer, and I put the flex additive in the primer. That's why I bought that stuff. That was $154. Now that universal flex additive was $36.63. I think they're like $100 now for the same can. Okay, so all this stuff was years and years, 10 years ago. And then I bought a quart can of Hugger Orange to paint the door jambs. Okay? Now I thought it was $90. It was $44. Single stage urethane. It was $44 for a quart, and that was in 2015, May 16th, 2015. Okay, I thought it was $90 because I remember paying $86. I thought that was just for the paint, but I bought some other stuff with it. But if that was 10 years ago or 9 years ago, almost 10 years ago, for $44 for a quart, I bet you it's doubled or tripled or close to it since then. So that's pretty cool. I had no idea these receipts were in this car. I'm just going through all the stuff that was in the back seat. I haven't touched all of this. I haven't touched this stuff in, obviously almost 10 years or more. So that's pretty cool. I got a whole bunch of random stuff here. I got spark plugs, and these are actually the original plugs that came out of the G8. And I think they're actually really, I don't think I needed to replace them when I did. So I'm gonna look at these and see how good they are and compare them to the ones that are in there. I might actually put these ones back in because I think these are actually still pretty good. We got some roll-lock wheels for the grinder. I got my, I had the 3M. This is from when I was working at the body shop. I brought some of this stuff home because I was using the primer gun to prime. I used this when I primed the car. The 3M PPS system. This stuff's all outdated now. That's the original style. Anyways, we got weather stripping. This CD was actually in this radio, which was in the car when I bought the car. We got weather stripping. We got my exhaust manifold gasket sealer. It's not actually good for that, but I got extra clips because these always get broken and lost. Yeah. We got here. These actually have to go back on the car now that it's painted. Okay. These actually, that's the driver's side. These go up here like that. They go in here. And these brackets are actually for the front bumper. I guess I forgot to put them back on. They're just kind of like I don't know why that bumper needs it, but whatever. The bumper's on. It's not coming back off right now, so. Yeah, I got lots of random stuff here I gotta go through. Cleaning this out. I got the original starter. That's the box from the mini starter that we put in. I got a bunch of random, I don't know, bunch of random nuts and bolts here. Maybe, I bet you this is for the air conditioning stuff. All the brackets for the air conditioner. The bolts. This is exhaust. I didn't use that. Oh. Here we go. Let's look at the date on this receipt. What did I buy? Paint thinner, paint stripper. May 14th, 2016. Okay. Yeah, some random parts here. That is the, I think that goes on the side of the transmission for the reverse light switch, which is obviously not on. More random, I think these are for exhaust. I'm not sure. It's probably for the fuel line for the original carburetor. That's what that looks like to me anyway. I think this is some of the bracketry for the air conditioning system. Again, I'm not a mechanic. I don't really know what all this stuff is. Yeah, this looks like carburetor intake manifold stuff. I don't know. Obviously, it wasn't being used. It's been in this box since 2010. But we'll have to keep it just in case I don't know. I'm sure some of it's for the air conditioning system, which I eventually want to put back in this car. Alright guys, I got the flares on the driver's side. It just changes the whole look of the car. I don't know, it just makes it look better to me. I just bought this cheap Amazon two-sided. It comes with two-sided tape on there. It's like for wheel flares and stuff. So they were kind of a bitch to get on. The front one, you have to, it's way in there. So yeah, those are on. Just gotta do the other side. Okay guys, had to do a little repair here. JB welded a stud into the bumper because it was missing. And I told you earlier I got the flares on. Still got to put the mirror on, finish installing the door panel. And I found this in the trunk. So this tells me, this is the driver's side. That means that this driver's fender is not the original one to this car. Because now I remember I bought a used fender from someone, and that's why I have that extra flare. So that explains why this fender has a hole here and the other one doesn't. I have no idea why there's a hole there. So yeah, this driver's side front fender is not from this car. I just got to put those bumper and this on, and mirror, door panel, and then I got the trim that goes in here. So it's coming along. I'm gonna need help to put that rear bumper on. It's freaking heavy as hell, just like the front one. Oh, and I was putting the flare back on this side, and it has, whoever had this car before me, the screws are Robinson head screws. Look at that. Some of them are Robertson head, some of them are Phillips head. Robertson head screws do not belong on automobiles, folks. So yeah, whoever had this car before me and worked on it before me. Oh, and that crack, remember how this was cracked in half? When I put the screw back in to hold this on, it cracked. So I'm just gonna try and get some touch-up paint and just touch it up inside this crack so it makes it less noticeable. I also got to touch up the corner on the door here. Right there, it chipped off. And then on the other quarter panel, when I was wet sanding it to polish it, clumsy me dropped the block, and the metal part of the block gouged the paint. So I'm gonna have to touch it up there as well. What a disaster. Anyways, other than that, it's coming along good. Alright guys, getting ready to put this bumper on, and I'm gonna just hit this rust. It really should be a new tail panel should be welded in, but there's a bit of rust, and I'm gonna hit it with the wire brush and then spray it with some rust paint. And then this doesn't go into the trunk, okay? Down here, the trunk floor is up here. All right? It's right above that. This probably isn't going to do anything, but because it's so rotted. I don't want to get any on the quarter panel, so I'm gonna have to spray it from this angle. The trim clad Kubota orange, look how much brighter it is. I really wish I could have gotten the Rust-Oleum in a gallon can, because it'd be the same color as this, because Rust-Oleum is trim clad. But for some reason they only sell Kubota orange in trim clad in spray cans here. They don't sell it in gallon cans. That's why I had to go with that other brand. There we go. Some rust killing paint. I'll just spray the whole backside. There we go. Frame off, restoration complete. Oh, I gotta do the other side. Hold on, it's not complete yet. The other side's more rotten. This one has more holes in it. Down here. None of this goes into the trunk, though. The trunk is up here. It's like right along here, the trunk floor and up. There we go. Yeah, good enough. There we go. Get that rust killing paint on there. And we're set. Now I just need to find someone to help me put the bumper on. So that should be fun. So I don't have anyone to help me put the bumper on, so I got this block of wood that I put some tape on it. Really thick padded tape, and I was going to try to set that on there and then jack it up into place. I'm starting to question myself, so let's just, I don't know, let's see if this works. thing wasn't so heavy and awkward. I just don't want to scratch it. So the jack idea did not work. It's too sketchy. Plus it's lifting it up too high in this. I needed more of an angle it. So I'm gonna have to see if I can get someone to help me. I didn't get the rest of the assembly on film, but these are some still photos I took of the completed car. The only thing I haven't done is the trim that goes around the windshield and the back glass is not installed. I'm waiting to install that because I want to paint it black, and I also have to do a bit of work to it because it's a little bent, so I need to straighten it out a little bit and probably get some new clips. But other than that, the car is basically 100% done here. Forgot one last thing to check before that dream drive tomorrow. And this bearing was making a lot of noise, or not noise, but it was clunking when I moved the tire. Is that supposed to be that loose? Like, I don't know. That's there was a cotter pin, so that's good. But should I just try to tighten this up and see? I'm gonna tighten that up a bit and just see how it is. All right, guys, I tightened it up a little bit, and I put the cotter pin back in. This is now really tight, so I'm just gonna fill up put some new grease in this, and then put it back on. I think that'll be it. Actually, while the tire's off, I can grease that upper ball joint. Well, I'm not greasing the ball joint because I can't find the grease gun, and I'm not starting to search right now. It's the end of the day, and I'm exhausted. So. It is what it is. I just gotta find the wood that I took off, and we'll be all set. Aha! Torque. Oh yeah. No more noise from the bearing. It was just loose. That's excellent. Perfect. I'm glad that's all it was. Okay. Well, that'll be it for today. I'm gonna get some sleep, and then tomorrow is the dream drive. So yeah, let's see if this thing can make it. I think it's about 100 miles there, like 50 miles there, 50 miles back. So I think that's what we're gonna be doing tomorrow. All right, see you guys later.